You are alone when it happens. Maybe you are cooking, driving, looking for your keys, and suddenly you say something out loud. Okay, where did you put it? There is nobody else in the room. So who exactly are you talking to? Talking to yourself can feel strange when you notice it. But the real reason you do it is far more useful than it seems. Your voice is normally a social tool. You use it to warn people, explain things, solve problems, and guide someone through a difficult task. Sometimes, the person who needs that guidance is you. Think about a child trying to complete a puzzle. They might whisper, "This one goes here." No, turn it around. Children often speak their thoughts while they work. Over time, much of that speech becomes quieter and moves inward. Instead of saying every instruction aloud, you begin carrying on parts of the conversation silently. That voice in your head can help organize what happens next. But adults still let it escape. You do it when a task becomes difficult. Come on. Focus. Don't forget the keys. Why? Because putting a thought into words can turn a vague feeling into something your mind can work with. Instead of experiencing a cloud of frustration, you create an instruction. Instead of simply feeling lost, you ask yourself a question. And sometimes you do something even stranger. You use your own name. Imagine you are about to give an important presentation. Your heart is racing. You could think, "Why am I so nervous?" Or you might say, "Okay, Sarah, you know this. Just start." Those sentences sound almost identical. Psychologist Ethan Kross has spent years studying this kind of inner speech and how the language people use when talking to themselves can influence emotion and self-control. In experiments, Kross and his colleagues found that referring to yourself using your own name or non-first-person language can create psychological distance. That sounds complicated. It isn't. Imagine your friend is panicking before an interview. You can probably see the situation clearly. You might tell them, "You prepared for this. Slow down. Answer one question at a time." But when you are the one panicking, that perspective becomes harder to find. Your problem feels enormous because you are standing inside it. Using your own name can slightly change the viewpoint. For a moment, you become both the person experiencing the problem and the person giving advice. And researchers have found something remarkable about that shift. In studies involving stressful situations and negative memories, distance self-talk was associated with better emotional regulation. Some experiments found that people could gain that distance without showing the same increase in brain activity associated with effortful cognitive control. In plain English, changing how you talk to yourself may help you step outside the emotional storm without having to wrestle with it quite as hard. But there is a twist. Your inner voice is not automatically helpful. The same system that can guide you can also trap you. You make one awkward comment at lunch. Hours later, your brain starts talking. "Why did you say that?" They definitely noticed. You always do this. Now the voice that was supposed to help organize a problem is feeding the problem instead. One thought creates another, then another. The conversation becomes a loop. This is why talking to yourself can feel like having two different people living in the same head. One voice coaches. The other criticizes. One creates distance. The other drags you deeper into the moment. And modern life gives that voice plenty to discuss. Messages. Deadlines. Arguments. Embarrassing memories. Things you should have said. Things you wish you had never said. Your ancestors did not have a smartphone full of conversations waiting beside their bed, but the basic problem is familiar, a social brain, constantly trying to predict what happens next. So sometimes you narrate. Sometimes you rehearse. Sometimes you argue with someone who is not even there. And sometimes you say your own name because your mind needs something surprisingly simple. Perspective. So the next time you are alone in the kitchen searching for your keys, and suddenly hear yourself say, "Okay, where did you put them?" Notice what just happened. There may be nobody else in the room, but your brain still found someone to talk to. You.